темно, если даже дождь идет с утра. Надо, чтоб люди точно знали, нет оснований для печали. Завтра все будет лучше, чем вчера. Проснись и пой, попробуй в жизни хоть раз не выпускать улыбку из закрытых глаз. Пускай капризен успех, он выбирает из тех, кто может первым посмеяться над собой. Пой, засыпая, пой во сне, проснись и пой. Что позабудь, что миновало, все, что упало, что пропало, все, что ушло, обратно не вернешь. Только туда и нет обратно, то, что сейчас невероятно, завтра наверняка произойдет. Проснись и пой, попробуй в жизни хоть раз не выпускать улыбку из закрытых глаз. Пускай капризен успех, он выбирает из тех, кто может первым посмеяться над собой. Пой, засыпая, пой во сне, проснись и пой.
Наблюдаем командира корабля бортинженеров в телекамере СА.
We can see the flight engineers and the Soyuz commander on the ESA descent module camera view.
We are now less than 28 minutes away from the launch of 3 Russian cosmonauts to the International Space Station.
Проснись и пой, попробуй в жизни хоть раз не выпускать улыбку из закрытых глаз. Пускай капризен успех, он выбирает из тех, кто может первым посмеяться над собой. Пой, засыпая, пой во сне, и пой.
Launch lead, we just got a message that the water partial pressure is 20.2 copy, 20.0 correction, 20.0, and the red LED is on. Copy.
Don't launch lead. You can select any displays on the info panel. Copy. You give a go to select for displays on the info panel.
Continuing to move closer to launch today, scheduled at 10:55 and 18 seconds Central Time, 8:55 and 18 seconds p.m. in Baikonur. No issues have been tracked throughout the day, and the rocket is fully fueled and ready for launch. Following launch today, the trio of cosmonauts will complete a 2-orbit flight to the International Space Station, with docking scheduled a little more than 3 hours after launch at 2:05 p.m. Central Time. The Soyuz MS-21 will be docking with the Prishal docking port on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the space station. When the crew arrives at the International Space Station, they will join the 7 current station residents on board. At this hour, the crew aboard the International Space Station is awake and completing tasks for their day, including exercising and preparing for an upcoming spacewalk. On Wednesday, March 23rd, 2 astronauts will step out the space station hatch for a spacewalk to replace a radiator beam valve module hose and complete other upgrades to the space station.
The camera is off, deactivated. Copy, launch lead. Now approaching the 20-minute mark until liftoff of 3 Russian cosmonauts to the International Space Station. Launch is scheduled for 10:55 and 18 seconds a.m. Central Time this morning. Dawn, launch lead. It's 16 minutes until launch. Copy. Launch lead. Dawn, go ahead. The camera that is installed on the panel stopped blinking. So the other camera is operational, but the one that is on the panel stopped blinking. Copy. Launch lead done. Go ahead. I tried to activate the camera and it, came alive. Copy. Maybe some issue with the battery. You don't have to do anything with it. Done. Copy. Launch lead done. Another message regarding water. 1982, 19.9. Come again. Again, water signal. 19.9. Copy done.
And this is a live view of the Soyuz on the launch pad in Baikonur. Everything still continuing to move along as planned as launch is targeting 10:55 and 18 seconds a.m. Central Time, 8:55 and 18 seconds p.m. in Baikonur.
Done. Launch lead 10 minutes until launch. Copy.
At this time, the vehicle is fully fueled and ready for launch, and no issues have been tracked throughout the day.
Readiness on the Kasus display number 18. Copy.
3 Russian cosmonauts, Oleg Artemyev, Denis Matveyev, and Sergei Korsakov, are about to begin their journey to the International Space Station less than 15 minutes from now. They will complete a planned 2-orbit flight to the International Space Station with docking scheduled a little more than 3 hours after launch at 2:05 p.m. Central Time. The Soyuz MS-21 spacecraft will be docking with the Prishal docking port on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the space station. Now under 12 minutes until today's launch of the Soyuz MS-21.
Третьему. Связи. Объявлена готовность. 5 минут. Закрыть герметик.
Don't launch lead. 5 minutes until launch. Launch. Close your helmets. Copy. Closing helmets.
Здесь дом, гермошлемы закрыт.
Launch lead. Helmets are closed. Kai says rescue aids are ready. Copy. We see you on camera in descent module, the commander and flight engineer.
And you just heard that call that the crew members are closing their helmets, which puts them on suit oxygen ahead of today's launch, scheduled for 10:55 and 18 seconds Central Time. Now less than 10 minutes until launch.
Don't launch late. 1 minute until launch. Everything is according to the schedule. Control is on board, and I will provide the running commentary of the launch. Launch lead, Dawn, I copy all. Everything is good on board, and we are ready for launch.
And now at this point in the countdown, the Soyuz first and second stage engines are
Launch
ready for launch.
Inserted. Copy.
And the launch key has been inserted in the launch bunker to transition the launch sequence into automatic mode. At the time of launch, the International Space Station will be flying over northern Uzbekistan, and about 30 seconds after launch, the International Space Station will fly directly over the Baikonur Cosmodrome. This will allow the International Space Station to leapfrog ahead of the Soyuz during the booster's climb to orbit.
Station Houston on Space Ground 2, no response required. We're about 5 minutes out from the Soyuz launch. We are uplinking NASA TV if you want to follow.
Now less than 5 minutes until launch, the systems have been switched to onboard power and the commander's cockpit displays and controls are activated. Earlier, the crew members closed their helmets, which put them on suit oxygen. Still tracking no issues ahead of today's launch. Less than 4 minutes until launch today, the fuel lines and other elements of the rocket engines are being purged with nitrogen to fireproof them by removing vapors of fuel and oxidizer. Coming up shortly, the booster's fuel tanks will be pressurized for flight.
Наддув. Принято.
Pressurization initiated. Copy. We can see commander and flight engineer on our screens.
And the booster fuel tanks are now being pressurized for flight. "90 seconds until launch. And the ground propellant feed has now been terminated. Soyuz now on internal power.
Земля, борт.
Vehicle to internal power. Copy.
First umbilical tower has separated from the booster, and we have auto sequence start.
Пуск.
Auto sequence initiated.
Зажигание.
Ignition.
Предварительное.
Second umbilical
Launch command
tower
has been
separate.
issued.
Промежуточное.
Engine turboprop set flight speed. Engines at maximum thrust and liftoff.
Liftoff of the Soyuz MS-21.
So let's work in space together.
Параметры управляют системой ракет, двигатели в норме.
parameters of the launch vehicle are nominal. Copy. Everything is well on board, and the crew
30
is
seconds
great.
into flight, everything going as planned. At this second, the International Space Station is flying directly over the Baikonur Cosmodrome.
Yes.
One minute into today's flight, continuing to hear good calls.
60 seconds into the
Velocity
flight,
is over 1,100 miles per
are
hour.
Nominal. Copy. Everything is good on board. The crew is feeling well.
секунд двигатели первой и второй ступени работают
The thrusters of the first and second stage are firing nominally. Everything is stable. Copy.
Continuing to hear good calls, everything proceeding nominally.
Copy. First stage separation.
And the 4 strap-on boosters have been jettisoned.
All the KGO parameters are nominal. The pressure is 811. All parameters are nominal. 150 seconds into the flight, the thrusters of the second stage are firing nominally. Copy. So the jettisoning of the launch shroud. Yeah, we have the flag of
this view from the Soyuz
system.
MS-21 as it continues its climb uphill, everything proceeding as planned.
150 seconds into the flight, the vehicle is stable. Copy. Everything is good on board. All the parameters are nominal. Copy.
The Soyuz core stage is performing as expected.
parameters. 210 seconds into the flight.
This stage will continue to burn until the 4-minute 43-second mark into flight. Now just about 3 minutes and 45 seconds and counting into today's flight of Soyuz MS-21.
Двести
240 seconds into the flight. Second stage engines are operating nominally. Copy.
Second stage engine performing as expected. This view from the upper stage camera of the Soyuz rocket, everything continuing to proceed as expected. Now 4 minutes and 37 seconds into today's flight.
Nominal copy and standing by for GK2 second stage engine cut-off command. GK2 main engine cut-off command confirmed. Second stage separation confirmed.
The core booster now separating.
Стабилизация изделия устойчива.
310 seconds.
Soyuz now being propelled by the single engine of the Soyuz third stage.
Copy. Everything is fine on board, and the crew is feeling great. Onboard system parameters are nominal. Copy.
Soyuz still performing as expected.
360 seconds into the flight. Pitch, yaw, and roll parameters are nominal. Copy, and the crew is feeling excellent.
Soyuz now traveling over 11,000 miles per hour.
The flight and the launch vehicle is steady. Copy.
The next milestone that we'll be looking towards is third stage cutoff and separation, slated to occur at the 8-minute 46-second mark into today's flight. We're now 7 minutes and 20 seconds into the launch of Soyuz MS-21, headed to the International Space Station with 3 Russian cosmonauts on board.
Report on the onboard system parameters. Water partial pressure is 20.2. Copy. 20.2.
$470.
470 seconds into the flight. Third stage engines operating nominally. Copy. Launch lead. Everything is fine.
Soyuz continuing to perform as expected.
Copy.
Now coming up on third stage shutdown.
Seconds into the flight. Getting ready for third stage separation.
510.
510 seconds into the flight.
520.
520 seconds into the flight.
530.
530 seconds into the flight.
Есть контакт отделения.
Stage 3 separation is confirmed. And congratulations on the successful orbital insertion, and I will...
And we have confirmation of spacecraft separation.
Don, this is Moscow.
The Soyuz capsule and crew inside now are safely in orbit, and the spacecraft is automatically executing its pre-programmed commands to deploy the antennas and solar arrays.
This is MCC Moscow. Come in.
Дон, это по Москве, как вас слышно?
John, this is MCC Moscow. How do you read me?
And we do have confirmation of solar array and antenna deploy.
Moscow, this is Don. How do you read me loud and clear? How me? Hello, I have you loud and clear. We're feeling great. Main engine separation was completed on time. And copy. Copy. The dynamic operations are in progress. TV system is on.
Принято, выдали в КЛТВ.
copy. You send the command to activate the TV system, and we're standing by for the air mode. Copy. And did you close the RPV 1 and 2 airflow regulators? Yes, that's correct. And thermal control sensors are on. And did you complete the test as well? Yes, we did complete the test, and we're now on page 36, copy all, and we're standing by for your measurement on page 35. At 190437, sub pressure is 789, bow pressure is 826.
And with Soyuz lifting off from Site 31 at the launch pad in Baikonur at 10:55 a.m. and completing a nominal flight uphill, Soyuz is now safely in orbit, and that will wrap our launch coverage for today. Soyuz will complete 2 orbits around the Earth before docking to the International Space Station. We'll be live on air covering docking, and our docking coverage will begin at 1:15 p.m. Central Time, with the docking scheduled to occur around 2:05 p.m. Central Time. We hope you'll stick around and join us then. For now, this is Mission Control Houston.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is Station. I'm ready.
Navy Talent Acquisition Group, New England. This is Mission Control Houston. Please call Station for a voice check.
Station, this is Kelly Hedinger with the Navy Talent Acquisition Group, New England. How do you hear me?
I have you loud and clear, Kelly. How do you hear me?
Loud and clear. All right, fantastic. Well, good morning. Thank you for doing this with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning to you in Boston, and thank you so much for wanting to speak with me today.
So we have some questions that we received from sailors in our area of responsibility, as well as some of our future sailors and students at some of our schools. So we'll jump right in if you're ready.
I'm ready. Can't wait to hear your questions.
All right, first question. Why did you join the Navy and decide to serve as one of the first female submarine officers?
I decided I was interested in joining the military from a pretty young age. I was about 13 or 14, and that desire to serve really cemented itself in my young mind when 9/11 happened, actually, and I was really inspired by the way our country came together and responded to that event, the way we supported each other, and I knew that I wanted to serve and be a part of something that was bigger than just me. And so the opportunity to join the Navy for me represented an opportunity to challenge myself academically and physically, but also morally, and to develop myself as a leader and learn how to work really effectively on teams. And for all of those reasons, I was also drawn to the submarine force. I got a chance to participate in some summer training aboard a submarine during my time at the Naval Academy, and I was just so blown away by the sailors in the submarine force, how smart they were, how intrinsically motivated they were, how good at their jobs they were, how funny they were, and the way they really held their junior officers to a high standard, but were willing to develop officers who treated them with respect and who showed up ready to work. And so for me, that was an attractive environment because I knew it would be challenging, but that I would be challenged in a supportive atmosphere where I had teammates who would help me learn from my mistakes and grow. And so for all of those reasons, I wanted to be a submarine warfare officer, and I was just really lucky that the policy changed during my time at the Naval Academy, and they allowed women to serve on submarines at the time of my graduation.
Fantastic. Taking those experiences that you've had, both in your training at the Academy and your qualifications leading up to and on board your time on submarine, what advice do you have for any of those who are interested in joining the military, male or female, in whatever route that they go?
Yeah, you know, one of the really cool things about the military is there are a lot of different things you can do across the services, but for me, I think the Navy offers the most diverse range of experiences and cultures. And so I was really excited at the Naval Academy to learn about all of those different communities, whether that's aviation, submarines, surface warfare, even special warfare. And so for me, I would advise people to really do your research, find the culture that works best for you. I was drawn to the Navy and to the submarine force, and that was a really good fit for me, and it was important that I had a good fit because, like I said, it's an extraordinarily challenging experience. Being a junior sailor or junior officer, you're given a lot of responsibility at a young age and asked to operate right on the edge of your skills and abilities. You're going to make mistakes. And so being around people who you feel confident working with and who you fit in with, I think is really important.
Okay. So those challenges that we face in the military as junior sailors, junior officers, that training that we have to go through that puts so much on us at a young age, do you feel that you faced any setbacks? And when you did, how did you stay motivated to push through those and continue on with your training?
Yeah, you know, nuclear power school was really challenging. I think for everyone going through being a junior officer on a submarine was super challenging. And I know I keep harping on this, but for me, it really matters who you surround yourself with and the team and the culture